There's a country in Africa with islands that look like the Maldives, but without the influencers, the $2,000 a night price tag, or the risk of being whacked in the face by a drone mid-swim. Mozambique. A place where the Indian Ocean hits different, Portuguese meets Swahili, and you might just have an entire beach to yourself because nobody you know has been. Yet. Stick around. We're diving into the beginner's guide to a country that's somehow tropical, untouched, and totally underrated. Mozambique sits on the southeast coast of Africa, just across from Madagascar. Imagine stretching your legs along 2,500 kilometers of coastline, then realizing nobody else is really there. It borders South Africa, so if you've ever done a safari, you were dangerously close to paradise and probably didn't even know it. Most flights connect through Johannesburg. From there, it's a quick hop to Maputo, the capital. And yes, we'll get to whether it's worth sticking around. Mozambique is not Bali, it's not Greece. And it's definitely not for people who need room service and a Starbucks within reach. This is for you if you crave raw beauty, spontaneous boat rides with locals, seafood that was alive 10 minutes ago, and a beach sunset without 10 phones blocking your view. It's also for adventurers, because here, things aren't always perfectly packaged. You'll get muddy, you'll get lost, you'll probably fall in love with a beach, a plate of peri-peri prawns, or a dhow captain named João. Here's the truth. Mozambique's beaches are ridiculous, and almost no one's talking about them. Tofo Beach is the beginner's paradise. Wide, sandy stretch. Chill surfer town energy. Whale sharks. Yes, whale sharks. Mozambique is one of the only places in the world where you can swim alongside these gentle giants year-round. Vilanculos is the gateway to the Bazaruto Archipelago. Think sandbars that look photoshopped, snorkeling that makes you cry underwater, and resorts that range from backpacker to Bond villain. And then there's Ponta do Ouro, a southern surf escape near the South African border, where the beer is cold, the diving is world-class, and the pace is aggressively chill. Spoiler, the beaches just keep getting better the further north you go. But that also means they get harder to reach. Choose your adventure. Mozambique isn't just a looker. It does things. Want to dive? The coral reefs here are some of the healthiest on the planet. 2 Mile Reef off Bazaruto is an underwater opera of turtles, rays, and neon fish drama. Want culture? Walk the streets of Ilha de Mozambique, a UNESCO World Heritage Site where colonial ruins, crumbling forts, and vibrant street life collide in the best kind of chaos. Want wildlife? Gorongosa National Park is a rising star safari destination with a backstory worthy of a Netflix doc. Once devastated by war, now roaring back to life with elephants, lions, and scientists who've basically rebuilt an ecosystem from scratch. Quick detour. If you're into hidden beaches and nobody there islands, you're going to want to check out our video on the most secluded beach in Spain. But don't go just yet, because Mozambique has its own contenders that make secluded feel crowded. Case in point, Quirimbas Archipelago. No roads, no noise, no stress. Just a chain of coral islands where the sand squeaks. The tides dictate your schedule, and the only traffic jam is 2 crabs arguing over a shell. But okay, back to the mainland. Mozambique's cuisine is like if Portugal went on vacation in East Africa and never came home. We're talking grilled prawns drenched in garlic and peri-peri, coconut rice so good it might ruin other carbs for you, and matapa, a rich, creamy stew made from cassava leaves and peanuts. Don't skip the street food. Get the grilled fish. Say yes to the mysterious fried dough thing. Sip a cold 2M beer or some Tipo Tinto rum. But maybe not both at once unless you're committed to chaos. Pro tip: always ask if it's spicy, then assume it is anyway. Language? It's Portuguese, not Spanish, not vaguely European mumbling. But don't panic. English is spoken in tourist zones, and pointing plus smiling goes a long way. Currency? Mozambican medical. But in touristy spots, they'll often take South African rand or US dollars. Just don't assume your card will work everywhere. Cash is king in beach towns. Getting around? Here's the thing. Infrastructure is still developing. Buses exist but are slow and, frankly, unpredictable. Domestic flights can save time if you've got the budget. Otherwise, it's 4x4s, local minivans called chapas, or your own 2 dusty, sand-covered feet. Maputo's got edge. It's not love at first sight, but give it a beat. Check out the Iron House designed by Eiffel. Yes, that Eiffel. Stroll the Fama Craft Market and eat at Casa de Ferro or Zombie, where seafood meets skyline. Mozambique's dry season runs from May to October. That's your golden window: sunny skies, warm seas, and 0 cyclones. It's also prime time for diving, wildlife, and romantic sunsets that make your camera short-circuit. Avoid January to March if you hate rain, flooded roads, or general sogginess, unless you're into that sort of thing. No judgment. Mozambique caters to both. Want overwater villas and private plunge pools? Try Anantara Bazaruto or And Beyond Benguera Island. On a budget, Tofo and Ponta are packed with hostels, beach shacks, and surf lodges where a hammock is standard issue, and flip-flops are formal wear. Mid-range options are growing fast. Think boutique hotels with solar power, locally sourced seafood, and hammocks for days. Here's the real warning label. Once you've stood on a sandbar in Bazaruto with no one in sight, but a fisherman in the distance and a horizon that refuses to end, you might struggle to care about Cancun, or Phuket, or even the Amalfi Coast. Mozambique is not polished. It's not easy. But that's exactly why it's magic. You'll leave with sand in your shoes, spice in your veins, and the kind of stories that sound made up until you show the photos. So pack light, pack curiosity, and don't tell too many people about it.